Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chalavet Movies. My name is John and this is going to be what movies I watched in the month of April 2022. Now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do this all in one take, so wish me luck. Now what I'm going to do as well is I have got a lot more titles watched than this pile I've got here. But what I've got is I've got some a lot on 4K. Now what I've done is I've watched so far this month to this point I watched 9 4Ks, so I'm going to get to 10, which hopefully I'll get to today. And then I'm going to rank them all on a sort of separate video, so it's going to be kind of like 2 parts to like what I've watched this month, kind of. And what I'll do is every time I get 10 4Ks that I've watched, and these are going to be 4Ks that I haven't watched before, either I haven't watched the movie or I haven't watched the actual 4Ks yet, and I'm going to give you my sort of views on them. So it's going to give me a bit of an impetus to sort of get more into the 4Ks I haven't checked out. I'm having a really good time with that method actually. So the first thing I watched is, now what I'm doing with the new sort of shelves, I've got a section over there of movies that I haven't watched, and what I've done is I've put them all into sort of the categories of like the shortest first, and then I've just went to whatever movie that is, I've picked it off and I've watched it. And then I ascertain if it's good enough to keep in the collection or not, and if it is, it goes in the collection. If it doesn't, it goes to sort of giveaway or sale. So the shortest one I watched, and the first one in that sort of process, is Amusement. Now I got this for £1 from One Below, and I do urge anybody who hasn't seen this to pick it up, because it's not a brilliant movie, but it's quite a good movie. It's well worth £1. It's got some quite brutal scenes in it actually. It's quite well done. It sort of takes place, I'm not going to spoil it by saying this, but it's kind of like 3 movies, kind of, or 3, it's not 3 movies, but it's like 3 parts to this movie that sort of all come together at the end. The clown sequence, which I thought wasn't going to be in the film, because I thought, isn't this supposed to do with a clown? That's the way I thought, and I thought it was going to be something to do with like a fairground or something like that, a bit like the Funhouse, but it's not, although the clown is in the movie. And it's quite a good sequence actually. So the movie itself, for £1, it's not the best movie out there, but it's well worth watching and well worth for £1. So did I think I was going to keep it into my my collection? Yes, I'm going to put it in. Now I'm putting it in for now. So say in the future I fill all my shelves up and I start getting rid of ones that I've got on the shelves to make space for other ones. This will probably be getting gone, but I do think I will watch this again. So get this movie as cheap as possible, and it's well worth a watch. That's Amusement. Next up, I watched this one. I've been meaning to watch for quite a while. Judge Dredd. Now I'm getting well into the Stallone stuff, even though I haven't really sort of watched the ones I've got, which I will be watching the ones. I've got a few more Stallone ones to check out that I haven't seen for a long time. So this was high up on the list, and it's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I know it's not the best Judge Dredd movie going, but I think it's a great movie. I think it's very entertaining. So this is, I think this is a US release, I believe. I'm not too sure. It is region free, whatever it is. Yeah, I think it is US. It is region free if you can get your hands on it. I'm sure it's on eBay for about 10 quid or thereabouts. I do urge you to get it. It's got a really nice print. Now I was thinking to myself, will this ever see the light of day on 4K? It might do. I know it's got a bit of a bad reputation, but when watching this movie I thought the set designs looked really good. In fact, it looked a bit like a Paul Verhoeven movie to me. It's got that same sort of look about it. I know this movie's from '95, so it's got that 90s feel, but it's also got the sort of way that Verhoeven movies kind of look. I don't know how to explain that, but they all seem to have got a similar sort of look, especially the sort of the sci-fi ones. I really do think this movie's sort of like shunned, and it's wrongly shunned. I think that it should be embraced more. Yes, he should have kept the helmet on for the full movie, we all know about that, but of course he's a superstar, he had to take it off and prove he was Sylvester Stallone, or the movie might have bombed. I think the movie kind of did half bomb anyway, but it didn't cater to the fans who would have went anyway, who were fans of 2000 AD. So I think this is highly recommended. I would love to see this come out in 4K, because I think the 4K could come out and it would look really nice, although there's some matte sort of scenes, you know, when they've got like the futuristic landscape, and you can tell that wouldn't look good, but it's few and far between, and for me I think this movie is really enjoyable. That's Judge Dredd. Next up is a one that I've been wanting to watch for quite a while, and it was on it's one of the short running time ones. It was the next shortest one, so I stuck it on and I had a brilliant time with it. It's much better than I thought it was going to be, although I thought it was going to be quite good. It is Cooties. Now this is a movie that's hyper violent actually, and it's also got a lot of swearing in it. And to me, it's amazing what you can put in a 15 movie these days. This would have been an 18 back in the day, no shadow of a doubt. But this movie here has got some great humour in it as well. Elijah Wood is great, and it's actually got a great cast. Elijah Wood, Rainn Wilson, Alison Pill, and Lee Whannell. So this has got such a good cast. Also, I do think that this movie sort of slipped right under the radar, and I don't think it was given a sort of fair shake. So all the kids in the school can catch the virus, but anyone who's hit puberty can't. So that's why the teachers can't get it. So there's only the teachers left and a few kids that haven't been bitten yet. So yeah, this is it's such a fun movie, very underrated actually. And also Splash with Ariel. I'll leave a link to her channel down below. She was telling me on an old when I picked this one up. She said that I think it's her school that was featured in this film, which is incredible. Would be incredible to see that your old school has been chosen to be in this sort of crazy film, and you can probably see bits where you were actually in school being used in it, like the gyms and stuff like that. So that'd be a brilliant turn of events, wouldn't it? So yeah, I can really highly recommend. This is another one I got for cheap in CEX, but really is such a good watch. And like I say, if you're a fan of them type of movies, even like a zombie movies, it does come across a bit like that. I'll tell you what though, there's one of the most disturbing things I've seen is at the start of this movie, in the opening credits. It shows you, well, it does this sort of, I didn't watch it because I had my hand over my face or my eyes. It was how they processed chicken for chicken nuggets. Wow. I don't know if it was 100% real, but the bits that I saw looked 100% real, and when what they were doing to chickens and how they were making these nuggets. And it was from an infected nugget. This outbreak was sort of got out, but wow, really sickening. I've got to say it. You know, I've seen some sickening stuff in movies, but that was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And I tell you what, if I was eating chicken, I certainly wouldn't be after this film. So that's Cooties. So last up on regular titles that I watched this month, I watched a film I've been after watching for quite a while. It is Censored. Now, I've been told a few different things about this movie from a few different people, and I think that I was really interested to see how this sort of played out. It does sort of come across as something I would really enjoy. It's got to do with censorship in the video nasty age. And for me, this movie plays a bit like a Ben Wheatley movie. If anyone's ever seen Ben Wheatley movies, you'll know what I mean. The fact that it's a British movie, or it comes across like a British movie, it's got a great cast. And it's got a lot. I'm not going to give anything away because I think it's one of those movies you've got to see. But it's the story's a bit strange. It's not as linear as you would imagine. There's a sort of storyline running through about this girl who is watching these video nasties, and she thinks that one of the video nasties playing out is actually playing out the way that her sister went missing in the woods. So the further the movie goes on, to me, the more it sort of goes into this like bit of a fantasy world. I don't really want to go any further than that, but I do think that this film is really spectacular. Actually, it's got a beautiful print on it. I haven't watched the extras on here. I really want to get the extras because it's got a ton of extras in here, all to do with video nasties, which is what I'm all about, as you know. Also, it's got a few things in here which are to do with movies when they're in a video shop, and I think some of the movies are made up and some of them aren't made up, and it's really good how they've put them the video shelves together in the video shops, how you can go in and ask for under the counter material. It's quite a throwback actually in that way, but the story itself does have like I say, Ben Wheatley movies that have these sort of elements of horror and strangeness, but they go into this other sort of world of being a little bit more ethereal, if that's a word I can use in this thing. I'm trying to say not too much about it, but don't expect a sort of run-of-the-mill movie. That's kind of another thing I can say about it. It does make you think, which is what I like about it, and it's one of those movies that's like the British movies that come across like very low budget, but very watchable. It's got an amazing. Obviously the second set is amazing. I'm really glad I picked it up. The movie is a brand new movie actually. I think it's out in 2021 even, and it's highly recommended by me. Although it's one that you should sort of approach to think it's not going to be your normal run-of-the-mill movie. It's not an A to B movie for me. But I had a great time with it, I've got to say. And like I say, the print and everything, the sound sounded absolutely brilliant. And they do sort of capture the mood of 1980 or the 1984 quite well, actually. I think they've done a good job in doing that, and so whoever was behind this obviously knew a little bit about what they're talking about. So that's the end of what I've watched on regular movies. What I'll do is now I will go and watch the last movie that I'm going to watch in these 10 movies, and I'm going to do another follow-up video to this. So this is probably coming out on Tuesday. The next one will probably come out on Wednesday when I go through the 10 movies on 4K that I've watched. And then I'll sort of go through the 4Ks and say, right, this is I've ranked them from worst to best. I've picked some great titles, actually, ones that I was really wanting to watch or thought, right, this is a good time to go well back into it. And also some of the movies I watched I haven't watched for yonks and in any form. So I'm really pleased to see the 4K upgrade, especially on the telly, getting more into with the telly. In fact, today I'm going to put my old soundbar back on the telly because, to be honest, the sound that comes through on the TV is really good, and you get this sort of Dolby Atmos effect, and it does sound, if you didn't have any surround sound and you didn't have a soundbar and you just were all right with the telly sound, this is the best TV sound I've ever heard. It's really good. It just hasn't got that extra bass, although the sort of surround sounds does come across, and also the Dolby Atmos does show up on it. But so I'll be putting me, for this moment, I'm just going to put me regular soundbar back on it. I don't want a Dolby Atmos soundbar further down the line this year. So thanks for watching. I did make a couple of cuts. I had to for sneezes and coughs and all that because hay fever's a bit rife at the minute. So anyway, thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.